Understand this. God had to tell Samuel, you have mourned long enough. And I'm here to tell you today, some of you need to get a hold of this. You've mourned long enough over your loss. Let's move forward. What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about just somebody physically dying here and referring to mourning. Some people are still mourning the fact that they didn't make it at a certain job, a certain relationship didn't work out, a certain promotion didn't work out. See, as long as we're mourning the things that didn't happen, we can't really get into the things God wants us to happen. Or He wants to happen in your life. Better way of saying it. So what was He saying to Samuel? Samuel, get over yourself. Saul's done. That's strong. You know, they say statistically the hardest position for a pastor to ever fill in the pastorate, and I'll just use my vocation here, is if you ever get called into a church as an appointment for someone that died as the pastor there. In other words, there was a pastor leading that flock, and he died, and you get called into that position. They say it's the hardest position in ministry to ever fulfill. Why? Because everything you do is judged based on, listen to this, everything that guy or gal done right. Our minds are amazing how we only remember the good things and the things that the enemy's trying to get us to hold on to. Just like an old boyfriend. He done everything right, but he didn't. An ex-husband. Now that you're ex, the enemy will remind you of everything they done right. Not all the time. I'm saying he's subject to why? One purpose in mind, to defeat you. As God gave me this saying years ago, the same devil that causes you to jump the fence because the grass is greener is the same one on the other side telling you how bad it is on that side. Why? Because he's full of condemnation, he's full of doubt and unbelief. And so when we recognize that, we go back to the Scripture and we say, we got to get over this. We got to get over this. I remember when I had to do it with a pastor. I had a pastor that I absolutely love, still do, all of them. But one particular pastor that we were so close, and we hung out a lot. We cried together. We laughed together. We were really close. And when I moved on to a different season than this other pastor, and there wasn't that same camaraderie, it wasn't that same thing. And I remember how God had to get me straightened out because I was mourning what was behind me instead of enjoying what was at the moment. And see, as long as you live in the past, you'll never live in the present and you'll never get to the future. You can't. You got to get out of the past into the present and look to the future.